Greetings. How are you? Trying to get this thing steady. Audie, finally on the live. Greetings. Welcome. Welcome, Ramona. Welcome, Rocky. How are all of you doing this evening, this early evening? Hope everyone's well. Start of another week. Start of another week. I've been working on some content, some video content that I'm going to include as a package. I'm not going to be posting it here on YouTube. It's a paid per view product, and I just wanted to come on here to find out what y'all think so far about the ugly girl concept. Um, have you used any of the presets that I've taught you ladies so far in your life? Like, are you applying anything that I'm saying to your lives? Do you believe that calling yourself ugly is toxic? Because some people believe that it is. And if you do, tell me why. I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear from you. Don't write to me afterwards now. I want to talk to you right here, right now. If you disagree with the philosophy here that we embody here, that UGC girls are about, in terms of ugly and the perspective that we have on it, if you disagree with that, tell me why. Vegas in the building. All right. I'm definitely applying. I don't believe it's toxic. No, I love the concept. Makes perfect sense to me. Thank you, Royalty. Thank you, Frank. Welcome. So, being realistic is not toxic to me. So, how do you feel about it? Do you ladies agree with Ramona's sentiments in that it's about being realistic? Do you feel it's about being realistic, or do you feel um, that it might be, you might just be shaming yourself? Or, what do you really feel? What do you really, really feel? No, you can't expect to see where you're coming from. They'll interpret that wrong. We know it. It's not in our interest. It's not in our interest. What's not in our interest? And see, when you say it's not in our interest, what do you mean? I think to call yourself ugly when you're not is toxic. Okay. And what does toxic mean? When you say toxic, what do you mean? What do you mean by that, Royalty? You're saying to call yourself ugly when you are not ugly is toxic? So if you call yourself ugly when you are ugly, you're just being honest? Is that what we're doing? It's not toxic when it's true. Tell me the logic in that. Tell me the logic in that. So it's only toxic if it's not true. But if it is true, if a woman is actually ugly, it's all well. Deal with it. Just deal with it. It takes away others' ability to validate you. That's it. I agree with the beliefs of UGC. It keeps me in a mental state of realism, encourages me to work harder to improve myself. Yes, yes. She needs to acknowledge it and fix the problem. Fix the problem. So being unattractive is a problem that you can fix. Being unattractive is a problem you can fix. I've been told this my whole life. Even the last guy I was seeing told me. Oh, the last guy that you were in a relationship told you that you were ugly? How long were you with him, Chandra? It removes the sting. If you feel that, then fix it. So you're just saying that ugly is something like you catch a cold, you know, take some meds and fix it. That's how you see it? Yes, you're here on a live. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, Royalty, I want you to think about that opinion that you have, in that ugly is only toxic when a woman, to say when a woman isn't attractive. I want you to hear the logic that you're, I guess you're trying to communicate some form of logic with that, but I want you to hear how that's a little bit skewed, and that you're really doing pretty much what we all face here in society, which is judgment based on how we look, value versus not value, condemnation, which is okay for some based on how you look. It's okay to abuse or talk down to women who are unattractive, or for these women to feel self-loathe. It's justified if you look bad. This is the same argument that we have when women talk about other women who might have gotten cheated on. She might have got cheated on or beat up, and women will quickly evaluate how she looks and determine whether she was entitled to that beatdown or entitled to him cheating or running the street based on how attractive she is. Because that's basically what you're stating. It's only toxic if a woman who is attractive is saying it. If it's not if it's a situation where it's toxic for an attractive woman, wouldn't it be toxic for an unattractive woman? How is it different if you're saying that it's toxic? You see the prejudice? You see the bias? This is why I say leave it alone altogether. No matter what you look like. No matter what you look like, you got to leave it alone, because there's always someone coming around the corner saying, no, you think you're cute, but you're not that cute. This is what we do in society. This is what we do. This is why you have to leave it alone. There's no winners in this thing. There's no winners in this thing. Why? Because attractiveness requires an audience. It requires people to co-sign and say, yes, I believe you're attractive too. You lose steam if it's just you saying it. You don't believe it if it's just you saying it. That's the point. What woman believes she's attractive if nobody else is saying it but her? Then it's not valid. Then it's a figment of your imagination. And then your self-esteem goes like this. This is what happens with us. Because some women front like they feel they're cute, and others feel that they aren't attractive, and you have others that are attractive, but they still have low self-esteem. You got all kinds of dynamics playing at the same time. All types of dynamics playing at the same time. The word ugly is supposed to sting. It's supposed to sting you at first. It's not supposed to really cover you in good feelings and all of that stuff. It's supposed to sting because you're supposed to expose your codependency, your fragility based on this thing called I look good versus I don't look good. We get into so much poor decision making based on this thing called vanity that we have to go all the way to the left with it to get back to balance. Like I can't bring you to balance saying that you're beautiful. Because number one, there's a lot of people out here that are saying it, that you're fearfully and godly, fearfully made, wonderfully made, and fearfully made, and all that, all of that, and all of that. And you don't believe them. It sounds good, and it sounds like that person is not being toxic because what they're saying sounds good to you. Do you know how many people say things that sound good to you and they mean you no good? They're conning you from here to kingdom come and back around again, two laps around hell and back, telling you how beautiful you are, how impressed they are with you. And their intentions are pure devilishment. Pure devilishment. We have to come out of this need to be coddled. Now I'm talking to unattractive women, like certified unattractive women now. Some of y'all don't want to claim it. Y'all want the gems, but y'all don't want to claim the title. That's fine. But for those of us who are certified unattractive, we can't live in this thing called say something nice to me and take that for face value. We can't afford what also the other thing that we can't afford to do is be biased and prejudiced towards other people. Like some of y'all come on this lives ranting and raving about, white people this and white man this, that, and white and white and white. I'm like, listen, when you're in the bottom of the social hierarchy, you have to befriend everybody. Because you don't know who's going to come and assist you. You don't know who is going to come and help you fix your flat tire. You don't know you don't know where your assistance is coming from. You can't afford to be selective and prejudiced and racist and whatever like you're doing now. Not when you're on the bottom. That makes absolutely no sense. That stops your money. That stops your knowledge. That stops your wisdom. That stops a whole lot of stuff. How are we doing that when we're dead last? How are we entertaining that? Oh, I don't like, and I don't like, and you don't like who? It makes no sense to me. The conversations and the dialogues that we get into as supposedly oppressed women. That's what you're saying? You're saying that nobody wants you, not even your own men want you, and we want to talk about racism? How, Sway? Like where, how, when, what, why? How is that beneficial to you? How is that beneficial to you? It's not. It's not. You all are going to have to shake hands and kiss babies and pretend just like everybody else is pretending with you. Just like everyone else is pretending to like you, you have to learn to pretend as well. That's what you're going to have to do. And I'm not just talking about men that you want to screw or men that you want to marry, and or men, alpha males that y'all trying to chase, which is not a reality. There's only a small percentage of them, not even enough to give every woman on this live can't get an alpha male. That's how many alpha males are out here. Not a So that's an illusion and a pipe dream. But I'm talking about also the women who carry the biases and stuff like that too. Because like I said before, it's a woman that destroys your self-esteem first. It's a woman that makes you second guess and question your value first. Women get to you first, and then the men get what's left. This is how it goes. We don't deal in the right or wrong of it though, because we all have the prejudice, right? We all have biases. We all have presuppositions and people and all of that stuff. We have them. So I'm not saying don't have them, because you have them. We all have them. What I'm saying is you got to learn to close your mouth and observe, smile, save your emotions for what you need to be emotional for. Understand for the most part that people are fronting. I need for you to understand this. People are fronting just as much as you're fronting and pretending that you're a good person all of the time, that you never lie, steal, cheat, rob, try to Jew somebody down or get something for free or get something for nothing and all this kind of stuff. You are just like every human being, good and evil inside of us all. So as a UGC girl, it would behoove you to get rid of any notions of idealism when it comes to right or wrong. That's a poor man's game. Right, contemplating right or wrong in people is a poor person's game. You'll be doing that until you're dead and still don't understand why people do what they do. And still don't have no clarity on why people do anything that they do. People do what you let them. People sift through your mind, your psyche, find out what your weaknesses are, and tell you what you want to hear. If they can find a way to get around your barriers, this is what people do. This is what men do, and this is what women do too. This is what women do too. We're always evaluating people. So therefore, that's not going to change. Whether you feel good about yourself or not, prejudice and bias, presuppositions, all that are still going to exist. I don't care how good you feel. It's still going to exist. So that's the point, is how do you deal with that? How do you communicate with people? And you don't, and as an ugly girl, whether you certified ugly or a little bit ugly or not so much, or you got an ugly heart, some of y'all claim that. I'm not ugly, but my heart is ugly. Whatever lane you're coming from, you still have to learn how to talk, deal, sometimes negotiate, sometimes even concede, sometimes take a loss to get a win. It's all of these things. All of these things we have to learn. And that's just what it is. Some of us were hurt by our mothers first before anyone else. That's what I've been saying. And it's not some, I would say most. If it's not your mother, it's a auntie, it's a girlfriend. It was a woman first. A woman broke your spirit first. Okay? A woman broke your spirit first. A woman told you you're not attractive enough for what you want. A woman told you you're badly built. A woman told you that you're not intelligent enough to go after that or do this or whatever. It's a woman that said that first. It's a woman. What's an ugly heart? I have no idea. I'm just saying what's some sisters say I'm not ugly, but I got an ugly heart. I don't know. I don't know if that means they're capable of murder. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I think it's just pandering. Honestly, I think it's just pandering so they don't feel left out. They don't want to be in it, but they don't want to be left out too. So they say, well, so because I ain't ugly like you, but I do have an ugly heart. So can I join? Can I be in? I don't want to be left out. That bull. It's all bull. So you smile and you laugh at them and go, yeah, really, sure. Knowing they ain't really down. You gotta go, yeah, girl, come on. That's what you gotta do. People deal with ugly girl complex by normalizing the dysfunction through abusing other women and spreading the poison elsewhere. Oh, so you feel that only ugly girls have complexes and are dysfunctional? Or only ugly women are dysfunctional with complexes? Is that what you're saying? Come on now. Is that what you're saying? I blame women for a reason. For a reason, the dating scene is interesting. I don't know what that means. What's the ugly girl complex, Royalty? What is that? That's something you're coining. I'm not familiar with that. What is that? Ugly girls who think they are a little better looking are just as abusive. Do you see what's happening? Within this conversation, we're creating a hierarchy within the spectrum of ugly girls. So there are ugly girls that abuse other ugly girls. There's ugly girls that have complexes over other girls. You see what happens? The hierarchy is always going to exist. Like I said, you could put a whole bunch of dark-skinned girls together and a hierarchy will be created within minutes. I'm prettier than you because my nose is smaller. I'm better than you because I'm not as heavy as you. I'm better than you because my hair is softer than yours. And it'll be top tier dark skin and low tier dark skin. This is why we can't play the game. This is why you have to divorce yourself, denounce all of that, and go, listen, I love everybody. Whatever you think you are is fine with me, and whatever you think I am is fine with me too. Whatever you think I am is fine with me too. But if we're going to enter a relationship with each other, I'm about my coin. I'm about self-preservation. And you're going to know it after talking to me, that I'm not going to be easily manipulated. That's the whole point of this. Because everybody's coming to extract something from you, especially if they feel that you're unattractive with a supposed complex like our lovely sister has claimed that ugly girls have, as opposed to, I guess, other women. So you're going to deal with all of this. All the assumptions and suppositions, and you got to smile and go, mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to agree, even though you disagree. Sometimes you got to agree just to get things done. Just to get things done. And that's what it is. So true, I've dealt with that in school. Yeah. It's all over. It's all around us. Women creating groups. Yeah, there's that. Yes, because you're accepting what other people think as your perception of yourself. Yeah, there is that. There is that. There is a perception of reality, and then there's a reality. There are people who dictate what everybody's reality encompasses, and unfortunately we got slaves ostracizing other slaves. I'm a little better than you. We're all slaves, but I'm a little bit better than you. Warped, just warped. We have all of that. My narcissistic mother is a cause of my insecurity. Unfortunately, we have a lot of mothers who are narcissistic, psychopathic, pathological in certain ways. We have a lot of mothers like that. We have a lot of people like that in general. You're going to bump into quite a few of those before your life ends. And For the most part, all of these people that come into your world are wanting you to do things against your will. They're wanting you to do things that you're not comfortable with. They're wanting you to do things that they haven't earned. That's all manipulation is. And if you maintain your boundaries and understand that you respect your opinion above all else, the success rate of people who come to manipulate you will start to drop. It will start to fall. You have people out here that are very calculated, and they'll pretend to be agreeable. They'll pretend to be in your corner for quite a while, too. Quite a while. And then all of a sudden, as soon as they get what they want, everything comes tumbling down. Everything comes crashing in, and you're like, well, who is this person? When did you become this person? And they were always that to begin with. You got to wait people out. Because they slip. They slip here and there. They slip every now and then. And we see the slip. We see the slip, but we excuse it and go, I'm overthinking. Oh, I didn't just see that. I'm projecting. I'm projecting. And then the signal to get out of Dodge slides right past you. And then they slip up again. And because you let it pass the first time, the second time you're even less apprehensive, if that's a proper word for this. You're even less apprehensive because the first time you let it pass. So this time you go, that ain't really that. That's just me and my negativity. That's just me being negative. It ain't really what it is. And then before you know it, they're treating you bad, using your face as a mop on the floor, warming up your ribs, all kind of stuff. Before you know it, this is what happens when you don't trust yourself and you don't have healthy boundaries and you believe that what everyone else thinks is better than what you think. Just prepare to be enslaved. Just prepare to be used, pumped and dumped, whatever you want to call it. Just prepare for it, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Yes, gaslighting. That too. That too. I don't think you should have negative self-talk. If you need to work on something, then acknowledge it and fix it. Okay, we got that already. You don't have to repeat that. I got your point. We're moving on. Feminism and mainstream ideology doesn't benefit black women. Listen, feminism is kicking everybody's arse right now. Every woman's arse. Because it's because of feminism that y'all are finding it hard to find these alpha men that you want to take care of you. Because these alpha men are saying you got to go out and get your coin yourself. I ain't responsible for you. I'm not trying to be the head of none. You got to get yours like I got to get mine. This is what feminism has done. And women are exhausted. Women are exhausted. There is no such thing as equality. Men, pound for pound, do more work than women do. I know people don't want to hear that, but it is true. Men do hard labor out here. They work longer hours than women do. They're subject to all kinds of emotional, physical breakdown. Men don't even live as long as women. Men commit suicide more than women. Men are homeless more than women. Men have it hard. Men don't have it so easy. Men have it hard. And even with all the statistics, we still claiming, patriarchy. And it's like, where? We claim patriarchy by the lens or the barometer of a very minuscule amount of men. There's a very minuscule amount of men who are actually in charge of anything. The rest of these men are betas. The rest of these men are suffer the same afflictions, injustices, all that stuff as we do out here. But we're measuring patriarchy by 10%, to the 10% ruling class of men. And all men of this or all men of that. That's not true. That's not true. So there's that. There is that. There is that too. So there's all sides of the coin. The systems are only patriarchal. Did you not just hear what's going on? Men commit suicide more than women do. Mental health, they're not winning. Men are not winning in the education system. Men are not graduating with higher degrees now. They're failing in school. They're working harder. They're failing in school. There are more homeless. The population of homeless people are mostly men. Okay? Hard work, hard work. The patriarchy where? We are judging this by 10%, maybe 5% of the entire population who rule the planet, who rule society. And we claim it is patriarchal. No, it is not. That's a lie. It's a joke. And I need for y'all to stop parroting off this nonsense. Stop parroting off the nonsense because the numbers don't support that. The numbers do not support that. This is not a patriarchal society. It's not. It's not. I never had a loving father, stepfather, brother, but I had fun uncles growing up. I never had men take care of me. Some of us haven't. I had a loving father who took care of me. I was a daddy's girl. So, I know what that's like. To have a man who is dedicated to his family, I know what that looks like. I have a reference point where that's concerned. Fortunately. It's really controlled by women in the West. Y'all want to see patriarchy? Go to Saudi Arabia. Hello? Hello? Listen, propaganda. We've been fed a lot of lies to get us emotionally riled up, to make us feel helpless and out of control of ourselves. And we believe it for the most part. And it's beneficial because we spend money when we don't have self-esteem. We spend money on things we don't need or don't want, on the promise of I'm going to be a better person if I just buy this thing, instead of actually doing the work or adopting the discipline necessary to actually transform yourself into a better person. We want it in a pill rather than going to the gym or just picking healthy foods. We just want a pill or a thermal wrap or a cream or something to forego the work. And life is about work. You have to work. You have to work for what it is that you want, whatever that is. Whether it be a man to take care of you, or a business you want to start, or having children, all of these things take work. All of these things take work. And that's what it is. And these companies know this. What's patriarchy, Ramona? Y'all still hanging on to that. You're never going to get from behind the 9 ball thinking that this is a every man you meet is part of a patriarchy scam. Every man you meet is a slave like you. Okay? Every man you meet out here working a 9 to 5 is a slave just like you. Where? Patriarchy where? YouTube's IT couple Jamie and Nikki done separated. I don't even know who that is. Jamie and Nikki. Who are they? A IT couple? Is this a black couple? Well, I remember when Nive and Knowles got divorced. All these interracial super couples falling apart. Oh, this is an interracial relationship. Uh-oh. Wait a minute now. So our last frontier, you saying there's no refuge in the interracial? You know, I can't get me a white dude to submit to me and love all this nappy hair? Oh, man, what we gonna do, y'all? I said, you know what? If worst come to worst, I can get me a white dude who would braid my locks, take my weave out. What else they be doing? Take your weave out, braid your hair, cook for you and all that. I said, worst come to worst, I'm going to just get me a compliant white boy. And you saying they breaking up? That's messed up. Truth be told, is you know, a lot of these, a lot of our white sisters that are getting with brothers are getting dumped too. They're becoming baby mamas too. They're getting left. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. There's no guarantee. White men ain't oiling your scalps. How you know? How you know they ain't oiling our scalps? I seen some chicks get their scalp grease on YouTube. I sure did. I seen him part their hair and grease that scalp. I sure did. So I don't know what you talking about. Hater. I don't know what you talking about. Women must vet men on their character. Absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta vet. Listen, you gotta vet them. Listen, nowadays there's so many DL men. That's like a whole another problem. There is so many men who dip in the back hole. They do front hole and back hole. They do sis and piss and I'm not gonna even say it. You already know I could go there, but I'm not gonna say it. But they dipping in all kind of fudgesicle holes and all that kind of stuff. All of that's going on now. You have to be so careful. Oh my God. Having intercourse now is like, it's like Russian roulette. It's almost like committing suicide. Almost. I don't know how some chicks, I don't know. And I got great women on my team that's like, you know, I just want to have fun. And I don't want a relationship. I got my own house. I don't want to get married. All I'm looking for is some fun. And I'm like, how, Sway? How could you have fun with men that are not invested in you? Because even the men who are invested in you, creeping on the low, they backdooring people out here, flying dudes in or flying out to them, and these dudes got whole families, and you just want to do it for free. You risking your life for free. Listen, either way, you're risking your life. I don't care if you independent chicks that, you ain't about that life. You don't want to get married and all that stuff. That's fine. I get it. I'm with you on that. Don't do it. It has its pros and cons. I understand why you don't want it. But sleeping with men is still a risk. Sleeping with men you don't know is even a higher risk. Like, what is your life worth? A nut? That's it? You could be all kinds of independent you want. When you lay down, you're vulnerable. When you lay down, you are opening your whole life. Your life is in someone else's hands when you lay down and open your knees. I don't care what your intentions are. Your intentions are separate from the act itself. You are still putting yourself at risk. And a lot of times these chicks that ain't trying to be wifed or nothing like that, you ladies go for the gusto. You hanging from the chandeliers, you turning upside down, inside out, wrong side, right side, you putting a strap on, you got diarrhea, all kinds of stuff all over your face. You don't care what you do. Because you in it for fun. Halfway through the condom is off. You start off with a condom, but halfway through your little monkey fest, your little ape fest, your little ape party, the condom ain't nowhere to be seen. Houseway, it is dangerous now. I don't care what your intentions are. It is dangerous now. Even as a wife, you gotta be investigating and side eyeing and sniffing his drawers and checking on stuff, checking receipts. Even as a wife, you gotta do that. Far less somebody that's just somebody for the night. If you somebody for the night, then guaranteed the level of care that a man would have for you is practically zero. He don't care what he give you. He don't have to be honest with you. He don't have to have a conscience with you. None of that. Zero. I'm starting to sweat. Yo, this thing be getting me hot. Hot. It's no joke, man. My boyfriend cheated on me with a tranny, and I almost settled because I had such low self-esteem. It's humiliating to think about now that I've matured. Oh my God. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we human beings or are we animals? What? You know. Woo! Do you know how many women turn a blind eye to that too? There's a lot of women that know their man is dipping with other men, and they go, well, whatever. There's women that know and don't care or don't protest about it. Yo, woo! It's no joke. It's no joke. These men are trifling. Yeah, the men are trifling. Women are trifling too. Woo! The thought. And then you don't get nothing out the deal. You risk your life for him to ejaculate. And he can't even put food in your fridge. You can't even get a week's worth of groceries out the door. You can't even get half a tank of gas in your car. And you risk your life. You scared to have requirements. You're intimidated to ask him for something, but your knees are wide open. Your knees are wide open, but you're scared to ask him for things that you need. You're ashamed to ask to do for money for your cell phone bill or your lights or whatever. You're ashamed about that, but you ain't ashamed to open your legs for nothing. You're not ashamed to open your legs, risk your life for nothing. That you're not ashamed of. It's a mess. It's a zoo. Like Kanye said, it's a zoo out here. Selkis, how do you deal with older female friends who are upset when you give them constructive feedback? Listen, I've learned that people generally like what they do. I've learned that people generally get what they deserve. They do. And anytime you cross that line and you try to throw somebody a lifeline, they didn't ask you for one, you're going to have an issue. Do not give advice to any woman who hasn't asked you for it. Don't make any suggestions or anything like that unless you've been asked to do so. And even when you're asked to do so, if you are the type of woman that actually tells them the truth and not coddle and pump them up and hype them up into doing something wrong because you really don't care. If you are not that woman and you actually care and you will tell them the truth, you have to put a caveat in there before you open your mouth. If you're asking me my opinion as your friend, as your sister or whatever, you want my opinion on something. Are you ready for me to tell you the truth? Because that's the only way I'm going to have this discussion with you, is if I'm allowed to tell you exactly how I see things. So you preface before you go opening your mouth and wagging your finger at people. You gotta put a caveat in there. You gotta preface before you even talk. Listen, I'm gonna give it to you raw. And if you're not ready for the truth, if you are more inclined to hear what you want to hear, do not ask my opinion. Because I respect your feelings enough and I respect myself enough not to waste my time too. So if that is where we are, if that's the kind of relationship we have, let me know. And I'll just keep my mouth shut. That's it. That's it. I worked at a gay club. A lot of dancers and trans women were hitting on me. I love a good gag, but no thanks. Women should never be scared to ask for what they need from a man. No, you shouldn't. And if you are scared, then what are you opening your legs for? You should not open your legs for a man you're intimidated by. As a general rule, you should never open your legs to a man you can't talk to. You're afraid. You're afraid to talk to. You're afraid to ask for something. You don't know where you stand. You should not be opening your legs for a man who hasn't made it clear where you stand. That's just what that is. If you're not getting paid for that said advice, you're causing unnecessary drama for yourself. Well, friends give advice. Friends give advice, right? And if you're a friend or family member or whatever, and you hear discussions about something wrong, something going on, and you feel that you have insight to add to it, you ask. You ask, like, listen, can I give my perspective? It may not sound nice. You just state that. It may not sound good. It's not going to sound real nice, but I want to share my wisdom. You can take it or you can leave it. You tell them that to begin with, and then they can do what they want after you say what you say. Or sometimes just be quiet until they formally ask you. Listen, Deborah, what do you think? We want to know what you think, Deborah. This friend of mine's married a man who used her for citizenship papers, and he is now stringing her along. Do you know how many women are getting strung along for this uh, U.S. of A. experience? It's a whole bunch of that. It's a whole bunch of that. I'm like, they're poor men right here. I don't even understand why would you go to some other country to get somebody you got to take care of when there's men right here who ready to get kept, and you get scammed from somebody whose first language ain't even English. There's men right here that you can at least share a joke with. At least you can laugh at the same things and eat the same food. You go all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to get somebody to con you. I don't get it. I don't get it. Nice hat. Are you a cowgirl? She won't go through with the divorce even though he clearly doesn't want to be with her. She is 50 and childless. Oh. Well, I don't know. Pass this video on to her or something. Pass her my information. I'd love to talk with her. 50 and childless. It's a whole set of things going on with that. A lot of us are scared. We screwing men we're afraid of. Screwing men you're afraid of. But that goes with women not minding their business. Well, yeah, you got to mind your business. And you want to be a friend too. So it's all, where do you stand in your relationships to offer advice? Some of us think we're close and we're not really that close. There's that too. Some of us really think we have close relationships and it's only a figment of our imaginations. The other person doesn't share in it. There'd be a lot of that. I thought we were best friends, and they go like best friends. Who told you that? Who told you that? So y'all got to know where y'all at. You got to know where you at. And like I said before, you don't have any friends. And some of y'all don't want to accept that, so that's fine. I say simplify it. You don't have any friends, so you just deal with people accordingly. Simplify your life. Suckers, what's your advice on men who tell you that they feel inadequate within themselves, low self-esteem issues, not feeling like they are where they want to be in life? What do you say to that? Are these, would this be somebody who's interested in you? Like, are you asking me if a man who's interested in me told me that he felt low self-esteem or inadequate, what would I say? A guy was broadcasting live and other guys was calling up talking about how they smashed through the fish smell of women just to get a nut. It must be common for women to smell these days. Don't get me. I won't go down that road. I won't go down that road. I won't go down that road. You're going to get me hot. I'm going to start sweating. Lord have mercy. And these are the same men who don't wear condoms for the fish they're digging in. They're not wearing condoms either. They will screw women who are not clean, and they'll screw them raw, and then go back home to their wives with stink. You know what? With stink on them. Yo. So let me see. Yes, a guy that is interested in me. So this guy is interested in you. It's basically telling you he's a loser. That's basically what he's saying. I'm a loser. I'm really not good enough for you. But I want you to be, compassionate and understanding about that? He's telling you that he's a loser. That's what he's saying. If he's not where he wants to be in life, and he's expressing to you that he has low self-esteem, he's telling you that he's a loser. Now, the next question would be, so what do you think you're going to get out of that? Because unless, they have men who make 250,000, 300,000, even 500,000 a year who feel inadequate. Y'all seem to think it's just, it's just broke dudes that may have low self-esteem. There's men with actual money in other tax brackets that feel the same way. Right? But at least they have enough where you're not going to be pillow to post homeless or something. If something jumped off, he has enough money to take care of it. He may have low self-esteem, but he still has money. But if the dude has low self-esteem and no resources or anything, then what Just be his friend. You know, if he has enough to take you out, just be a friend. But don't take on anything else. Don't take on that burden. Just be his friend. Some soap makes the skin stink too. Fish and cheese. What are y'all? What the hell? Poor diet makes bad smells. No, frequent intercourse with random men makes for bad smells. Frequent intercourse with one man make a bad smell. You don't never smell as sweet as you do when you're not having sex with nobody. And that's the truth. You always have, there's always a different kind of scent when you are sexually active as opposed to when you're not. That's with 1 or 10 or 15 or whatever. They all throw off your pH. Truth be told. All of them. You ain't never as sweet smelling like air as you are when ain't nothing digging in your behind. That's when you sweet. Like, where that sugar coming from? I smell something like cotton candy out here. What is sweet like that? And as soon as the dude get with you and start digging inside, everything starts rotting. Everything turns to shite. You be smelling like the sewage dump, the garbage dump on down Brooklyn somewhere. Listen, that's the truth. You got to keep dudes out your hiney, and then you'll be sweet all the time. Keep them out your hind parts. Why is that so good? It's a pH. You know, his DNA, his particles, his snot inside of you changes the chemistry of your own body because the snot don't belong in there. Truth be told, his snot don't belong inside your body. And your white blood cells, as soon as that snot gets injected into you, your white blood cells go, what the hell is going on here? Is she infected? Let's go kill that sucker. Wherever that disease is, let's go kill it. That's literally what your body goes through as soon as a man ejaculates. Your body acts as if it's infected. Your immune system lowers. That's what happens. Now imagine if you're doing this with 2, maybe 3, and some of you pro hoes 4 or 5. You don't ever give your body a chance to recalibrate and regulate itself. Like never. And that's why you stink. Thank you, Tia. Wait, white men told me yesterday he don't date black women. Have you noticed that non-black men are starting to mimic black men in the disrespect of black women? I don't know if I've noticed any difference personally, because I never thought there was any. I never thought we were trending to begin with. I never saw that. I was like, listen, until there are channels where there's a slew of white men making declarations about how black is where it's at, until that happens to the same level that we do it towards them, then, you know, to me it was never a trend to begin with. It was just a few people, few chicks got lucky, or if you want to call it that, and got with a white dude. But it's trending? No, ma'am. I never thought that. Listen, men are men to me. I don't differentiate between light, dark, white, Puerto Rican, Jew, whatever. Men are men. You side eye all of them. All of them. Men are men. So I don't know if they're starting to disrespect now from what you see. I don't. Y'all got it. What's going on? What's going on in y'all swirling camps? What is going on in your swirling encampments? Your swirling sisterhood, are they discussing, like, is something going on? Are they saying there's a problem now? Use discernment for all they assess. Yes. A high yellow senior woman asked me in July, how did I get so dark? I don't have a complex. A high yellow senior woman asked you, how did you get so dark? Really? All right. White men create white supremacy. And we all support him on that. They created it, and we perpetuate it, we support it, we fund it, we buy into it hook, line, and sinker. It's a relationship between slave master and slave. It's a relationship. It's reciprocal. It's circular. One can't exist without the other. One cannot exist without the other. That's why this blame game thing is pointless. It's just pointless. Pointless! White men, for the most part, like white and Asian women, they are not out here expanding their options. Black men are telling white men to act like that. Oh, is that what's going on? So y'all think that black men are coaching white men to disrespect us? Is that what's going on? Y'all watch too much TV. I'm telling you, you have to take a diet. Get on an Atkins diet for the social media, man, because it'll have you paranoid and bat shit crazy. I'm telling you. Now you got something else to worry about now. White men are now disrespecting you. Why? Because a few people got dissed out here. A few chicks that thought they was where it's at got dissed by a white dude. Now white men don't like us no more. Yo. Sit back, enjoy the show called Life. It'll be something else tomorrow. It'll be something else tomorrow. Selkis, the difference is white men used to be silent about their preferences, but they're being rude now and mimicking black men. So now, so what are y'all gonna do now? Y'all gonna start cussing them out too? You're gonna have panel discussions and conversations about how white men are now being as rude as black guys too? Lord have mercy. It's never going to end. It's just somebody new to be upset about. To think you're listen, we you have to separate yourself from that. You really, really do. You really do. Y'all watching too much YouTube? Every new YouTuber that pop up that sound a little bit good, sound like they saying something you want to hear, got you all flustered and aroused, hyped up. You know, they also got you scared and paranoid and stuff too. People don't feel nothing new. They feel what they've always felt. Hello? They feel what they've always felt. When are y'all going to get that through your head? There's no new feelings being developed. If white men are disrespecting black women, that's not something they just now started. That's just something they're vocalizing the way they've always felt. Whoever's doing it is just vocalizing how they always felt. Who is this? Brithalslam. Hi, Selkis. Have any general advice for getting rid of bad friends that still want to be friends with you? Okay, I don't know how new you are to this channel, but I have spoken on friendships before. And for the most part, I don't believe in them. And it's not to say that I don't like people, or you can't be cordial to people, you can't be giving to people, or express care and concern. It's that the friendship part comes with a tag of entitlement to it. Like, I'm entitled to have access to you, whether you like it or not. Or if I give you something, you now owe me something. That's usually how these friendships go. If you give, then I got to give you back. Like, we're keeping score. That kind of thing that happens when you label it a friendship. But when you label it as what it is, sharing time with another human being, sharing a moment with another human being, like you want to go to Great Adventures or Six Flags or something. We ride Harry Potter for the day and eat a turkey leg or something like that in Disney World. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's hang out. But once we call it, oh, this is my friend, and we have claimage, ownership over them, then it becomes all this other stuff. Then it becomes something else. Like now I got to perform for you. Now I got to answer the phone every time you call. Now I got to bail you out when I don't want to. Now I got to be bothered with you when I really want to be left alone. Then it becomes something else. And you usually end up becoming disappointed in these friendships, because it's really not if another woman betrays your trust or talks about you behind your back. She will. This is just what women do. Given the opportunity, if she's miserable enough that day, your business is going to be out in the street. So with all of that, take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. You're just sharing a little moment, a little time with somebody that's pleasant. And that's really all that it is. But as far as friendship, that word, that title, I don't believe in it. And if somebody's toxic, there really isn't no formula for cutting them off. You just cut them off. Now, if you want to make it official and tell them, listen, I no longer, I like you and everything as a person, but I no longer feel that continuing a relationship with you or a friendship with you is beneficial, is beneficial to me. I no longer feel like it's beneficial to me, and I no longer want to continue this. And that's it. That is it. I'm not new to your channel, Queen. I just want to know how to tactfully push them away, have distance. Well, you want to know how to push them away because, again, it's an entitlement thing. If they're no good for you, there really isn't a formula that you really even need to follow to get rid of them. You can say, listen, I think we've reached the end of our relationship now. Based on what's going on or whatever's happened, I think we've reached the end of the road. And let that be that. Because it's gonna sting no matter how you say it. You can say it over dinner. You can say it over the phone. And no matter how you say it, it's gonna sting. So but it's better to say it instead of just dragging it on. Just stop answering the phone. I mean, you could do that. You could do that. Or if you feel like they're gonna keep calling you, you could just say, you could tell them officially, listen, I'm done. Lose my number. I'm done. I just ghost them and block them out completely. I don't say anything. Yeah, that's a way to do it. That is a way to do it too. Just stop all communication. But some people are relentless. They'll keep calling you, and then they'll show up at your door. Some friends will do that. You ghost them for a week or two. They be, open up. I know you're in there. So sometimes, depending on what the personality of the person, you may have to tell them straight up, or others you can ghost, and they'll get the hint. Like, I'm the type of chick, you ghost me, you come up missing, and I can't get a call back from you after the third try, I'm already done. You ain't even gotta hide no more. I can see you at the path mark and go, hey, and keep on moving. Keep on moving. But, everybody ain't like that. Everybody ain't like that. So it is what it is. So, y'all, let me see. Why do black women complain about black men when our lack of standards and self respect made them think they are superior uh, than us? How do I answer that? Why do black women complain about black men when our lack of standards and self respect made them think they're superior to us? I don't know that I agree with that. I don't know, because it's no us. you, you ladies are taking on other people's burden, and it's no us. You have to take responsibility for how you act, and for your morals, or the lack of morals, or your lack of negotiation skills, or your empathy to a fault, or whatever it is, categoristically you. That's you. You have to take responsibility for that. There is no us. There really isn't any us. How a man treats you, he's not treating you uh the way he treats you as a us thing. He's treating you the way he treats you because he can get away with it, because your interaction with him shows that he can or cannot do certain things. There is no us. You represent yourself. So that's the thing. If you're not getting the results that you want, it's not because it's not a they thing. It's not a they thing. It's just you. It's just you. You are so wonderful with your pirate's hats. It's funny how reference towards this hat being a pirate's hat is made. Because if I was a white woman, it'd be a cowgirl hat. But I'm a black woman in it, and I'm a pirate. That's funny how y'all refer to it as that. If I had a blonde hair and white skin, it'd be a cowgirl hat. But I'm a nigger girl with a cowgirl hat. I'm a pirate. Y'all are funny. Funny. You see how we do? But I'm sharp as a tack, and I don't miss nothing. Nothing at all. And it is what it is. And I'll laugh with you. How about that? I'll laugh. So, ghosting hurts and is even more annoying when that person shows up later. Yeah, you got to know who you're dealing with. Some people you can ghost, and they'll get the hint. Other people will show up at your job. They'll call your mother. They'll start harassing people around you. So you got to be careful with that. Why do most men prefer light-skinned women? Why do black women relax their hair? Why do black women put extensions? Why do we have skin bleaching and do the alterations that we do? Everybody's out here choosing how they want to show up in the world and who they want to show up with. Everybody's doing that. We have to stop this blame game. We have to stop the pretense of, I'm better kind of thing. Because you point the finger and two could point right back at you for what it is that you do. That's not even a question to ask. Because any black guy who only wants white women ain't the one that you want, obviously. So, it's even to even want to know why. Would that even change anything? Unless you want so you can conform to whatever it is that he wants, then I can see it being a valid question. But to know why, to what end? Like, what will that solve for you? Would that make you feel better about yourself? Would you allow yourself to have self-esteem with the knowledge that it's not your fault that he's going to somebody else? That he's going to white women? Because a lot of you are internalizing this thing and saying that it's really, you're saying that it's your fault that they're moving away from us. It's not your fault. Everyone's choosing what they want to do. Everyone is choosing what they want to do. Every black man chooses who he wants to be with, just like every black girl chooses how she wants to look and how she wants to show up to get the attention of men. So when we're asking why certain things, we got to ask ourselves why we do certain things too. We're not asking why we do what we do. We're not asking that enough. And that's the most important question is, why do you do whatever it is that you do? Why do you agree to things that you agree with? Why do you sleep with who you sleep with? Like, why are you showing up in the world as you are? Why do you want certain things and don't want certain things? What's influencing your behavior? While we're pointing the fingers at men, are we evaluating ourselves? Are we evaluating ourselves? We don't do enough of that. We always want to know why they, and why they. But why us? Why are we doing certain things? Come on, y'all. Stop faking the funk. We're flawed out in these streets. Stop faking the funk. I honestly don't care about black men. Single motherhood is not for me. Okay. All right. I was joking about your hat, but it's not a matter about what? I was more. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's a perception thing. It's a perception thing. I get it. And you don't have to excuse it. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to excuse or explain. It is what it is. Our men don't respect us. Respect is earned. Respect is earned. There is no us. There's only you. And whoever you're dealing with and whoever you're talking to and interacting with and allowing space into your life, you set the parameters, the barriers of entry, the expectations and all that. You lay down the foundation for all of your interactions. There is no we. There is no we. You think it's a we because you're afraid. You think it's a we because you're absorbing the hard luck stories and the heart tear-jerking stories and the cautionary tales from, all these other women who are experiencing things around you who maybe look similar to you, but there is no we. It's just you. There's just you. And you have an opportunity to refute any claims or any biases or any assumptions that any man might have about black women in general. You have the opportunity to refute those claims based on your behavior. Based on your behavior. So whatever he's thinking, if you're not it, whatever he's assuming black women are, and he's in front of you and you begin to dialogue and interact with him, and you are not like those other women, he can no longer say, well, black women this or black women that. If you fall under the narrative of how all other black women act, then it is a we. But if you're claiming that you're different, then there is no we. There is no we. How can you act morally? How can you act with morals and conscientiousness and there still be a we? How? There is no we. At the end of the day, it's just you. But it's not a problem if he or she is black or white. It's a fact of education. I don't even know what you mean by that. I've learned that you can be the most loving person and you still won't get respect. You don't get respect from being loving. Y'all not listening. Y'all not listening to me. People who are loving, who are selfless, who give to a fault get stepped on. Have we not established this already? Have we not established this already? That respect is given. You experience respect from another person who feels that for the most part you are better than them in some aspects. That they're looking up to you. That you have something that they don't have that they want. This is how respect is built. It's not built on being giving and loving. You don't get respect by being giving and loving. You never will. Especially to somebody who feels they haven't earned it, or that you're not even worth the giving that you're giving ain't worth nothing because they don't want you in the first place. No, ma'am. Yeah. Hello. Yes, I'm cooning because white men are better providers and protectors than black men. My white husband treats me like a queen. I respect myself and know what I have to offer. I didn't get here overnight, but I refuse to settle, so I'm single until I leave this earth. Then so be it. I finally am in a happy place. Just want to be clear, you are saying people only respect when others fear them, or that person is intimidating or has something the other wants. I didn't say fear. I didn't say anything about fear. And I didn't say anything about being intimidating. I said that value is communicated through having something, or respect, I should say, is communicating by having something or possessing something or being something that the other person wants or needs. That's where respect is. You have something that the other person wants, then they will respect you. You giving to another person doesn't cause them to respect you. They absorb what you give them. Some may give you a thank you, but you don't generate respect from that. Respect is sort of like admiration, and admiration is sort of like you are something that I'm not, or you have something that I need. That's really the sum total of respect. If you don't have value in some sort of way, then there won't be an exchange of respect. There won't be anything to respect. And you can't give all of your value away without the other person earning it, because they really won't appreciate it, and they really won't respect you then either. They really won't. So respect is not in giving, it's in being, is really what I want to say. Respect is in who you are, not what you give, per se. Black women think praising. Wait, I lost it. Praising white men will make black men jealous. I don't know what to say to all of that. You know, you make somebody jealous. I don't know what the value in making anybody jealous is about, other than you're trying to manipulate them. Maybe, maybe. We spend too much time trying to make each other jealous, I feel. Women in general, that's all that we spend all of our waking hours trying to make people jealous. That's what we do as a hobby. Is try to make people jealous. It's unfortunate. It's such a waste of time. Such a waste of time. Do you take compliments well? What do you mean, do I take compliments well? What are you asking? If I blush? If I cower? I don't know. A compliment is great. There's nothing to take. I'm sorry, Selkis. It looks like our questions stress you out. Absolutely not. How you figure that? I am not stressed at all. I'm not stressed at all. I want y'all to get this thing. I want y'all to get what I'm saying. But it seems like the voices of other people out here, they got their hooks on y'all. Like y'all are not hearing me. Or you forgetting real quick. I don't know what it is. But it's not stressful. I understand that change takes time. Change takes time. Respect is not in giving, it's in being. Preach. That's right. Why are so many people focused on black versus white instead of self-respect value? Because self-respect and value is not as salacious. It's not lustful. It's quite boring. When you deal with race, there's a lust factor there. There's a excitement there. There's a perversion there. There's this the thrill of breaking the rules and all kinds of stuff. People are intrigued by it. This is why people talk about it, because it's intriguing to them. It's like you could be disgusted with something and still intrigued by it. People pretend like they're disgusted by things that they're actually curious about, or that they're actually in their heart, in the privacy of their own villas, would actually entertain. But they pretend, to be whatever for people. We put on for people. We put on for people. But usually what people are disgusted by, it also turns them on. There's a turn on factor to it too. Because it's passion. When you're disgusted with something, you're also passionate about it too. And passion is addictive. So this is why we talk about all this stuff all the time, instead of respect, self-awareness, self-esteem. Those things are boring. They're boring. While you can be attractive and intelligent, I can't believe people think it can only be one or the other and not both. Who said it could only be one or the other? You can be whatever you want to be. You can be all things in Christ our Lord. If you're a child of God, you can be anything. Selkis, but what about white men and black men? Are they any different? Not in terms of relationships, no. Not in terms of a relationship. I don't. Men are men to me. The same scrutiny that you would give a black man that you're courting or whatever is the same scrutiny that you need to give a white man, Asian man, whoever. Nobody gets a pass. You have to be careful with any kind of man. Any kind of man. So no, I don't see a difference as far as what can happen, what can go wrong in a relationship. It can happen with a man of any color. Any color. I'm tired of black men hating on black women. They are peasants. Oh my gosh. Listen, for every black man that hates you, there's a sister that hates you too. Y'all not getting this. Y'all not getting this. You think you I don't know where you think this only happening from one end. You are encircled by enemies. Enemies are everywhere, and enemies change faces. Enemies morph depending on how they feeling that day. An enemy could be your friend yesterday, and somebody a Pied Piper bringing you to slaughter the next day. That doesn't even matter. Are you kidding me? Y'all cut it out. Cut it out. You love black men. You wish they love you. Cut it out already. Y'all don't hate no brothers. You're looking for love. You want love. You still believe in that too. You don't want to be alone. We get it. We get it. Why does everyone hate you? I don't even, who is that? Everyone hate who? Everybody don't hate me. That's not how I walk through life. That's not how I walk through life. I understand the prejudice and all of that, but I don't walk through life like everybody's hating me. I used to be that way. And I'm not, full transparency. I used to be that way way back in the days. And after a while, I had to get over that to get on with my life because it was creating a prison for me, an emotional prison for me. That's all you do when you do that. That's all you do when you do that. So, that chapter is done. And I'm trying to cut the learning curve for you because you're not going to go anywhere with thinking like that. There's no redeemer at the end of all black men hate us, or all light-skinned women hate us, or why are they marrying them and not me, or what. There's nothing waiting for you at the end of all of those presuppositions and things that you've decided to believe in. There is no crown. There's no throne. There's nobody coming down with a cape. Not even Jesus is coming at the end of that road. There's nothing meeting you there. There's nothing meeting you there. So why not start thinking something else? Why not change your own mind and how you feel about yourself? Because a lot of this is really it's really an internal battle. It's really fear, self-doubt, self-loathe manifesting itself, and you're looking for an excuse just to make you feel better about you feeling bad about yourself. You're looking for justification for not trying. This is what you're doing. This is all that you're doing. Yeah, it's a mental battle. That's all it is. No, there's nothing. There's no flowers. Nobody's gonna be at the end of that tunnel with flowers waiting for you. There's not gonna be no ticker tape parade at the end of that road. There is nothing there at the end of that. Nothing. And at the end of that, when you decide to stop all that, you know what's gonna happen. You gotta come back to yourself. You gotta come back to self-evaluation. You got to come back to facing your own fears, facing your own inadequacies, facing your own failures, facing your laziness, your procrastination, your poor health choices, and all that. You're gonna have to face all of that you're putting on the back burner to blame men or whomever, or white men or whoever else you want to blame today. Today is black guys. Tomorrow, today now it's white dudes. Yesterday was black. Now it's white. Who else? Who else we gonna blame after that? At the end of your blame game, it's all going to go back to you. It's all going to go back to you. So if true love doesn't exist, why get married for money? I said love happens over time. Love doesn't happen right away. You got to grow together. Once you get over the lust part and you manage to survive after that the whole lustful phase is over, then genuine care starts to grow and evolve through experiences, through hardships, through trials and tribulations and challenges and all that stuff. You grow together spiritually. You grow together emotionally when you stick around. So through commitment over time, it becomes something genuine. But it's never genuine in the beginning, because in the beginning it's driven by pleasure. It's driven by the P and the D, and those things aren't. They don't represent real emotions. They represent pleasure. They represent pleasure. So that's what it is. It's a long game. You got to consider relationships a long game, and for the most part we don't. It's just for the moment. Nobody wants to commit. Everybody wants a moment, and everyone's dissatisfied. Everyone's dissatisfied. So y'all, with that said, I'm gonna leave you to it. I gotta go make some runs. Yes, it's better to work on yourself. Always, always. You are the foundation. You are the center of your universe. You are the center of your world. Right? So listen, all love and hugs and kisses. And I appreciate you all for coming out, all the donations. Very generous of you all for doing that and supporting the channel and shipping off this video to other people, spreading it around. I appreciate y'all for that. I appreciate you guys for all that. I'm coming. And get your love potions and all of that. Your conjuring tool. It is a conjuring tool. And we have to learn how to conjure. You guys are indoctrinated by everybody else's mouth out here. And you have to put the word over yourself. You have to indoctrinate yourself instead of letting other people indoctrinate you. And this tool is going to help you do it. UGC is going to help you do it. I know I'm a lone wolf out here. Although I see a couple of people cropping up with, they talking about ugly concepts now. I see a few people trying to do that. But I'm the first, I'm the originator of this thing, and I have the philosophy down. Nobody wants to face it full on like I'm doing. Nobody will. Because everybody's tied up into vanity. They still want what the devil wants to give them, or what the devil says is valuable. I'm over it. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.